evening. Everybody knows just what's at stake. And that is a spot in the World Cup final against South Africa. How good were they last night? Boulevard and Cup leading with both bat and ball. Well, if you missed out the first innings, it was an innings of note from Phoebe Litchfield, the youngest to hit a century in World Cups. And it was shots all around the ground. Wonderful partnership with Elise Perry, who was playing the solid role, and the smile says it all. Parents in the stand.
Oh, love it! Love it, shooter!
She's hit innings of note so far in this World Cup, but hadn't passed the 3-figure mark. And she did it with crispness around the ground, some deft touch, some power hitting. So it was back-to-back nights in this Women's World Cup where we've seen magnificent centuries. And with that 100 as well, it adds to the centuries for Australia in this World Cup. Alyssa Healy, she has 2 of them. She went back-to-back. Ash Gardner as well, Beth Mooney, they all combined to 6, which has beaten England's 5 back in '93. And I think it's the spread across the Australian top order as well that's made it so difficult for opposition teams in this World Cup. Finds the gap now. Had peppered a few of the Aussie fielders. This is the skill of Smriti Mandhana.
Yeah, she finally finds that gap, and she scored a lot of runs through that area against Bangladesh as well as New Zealand. Today the Australian fielding has been top notch, and Smriti Mandhana here tried to bisect that area, and she finally gets one through. That should release the pressure of those dot balls.
Yep, and that's past the outstretched left hand and then also the outstretched right hand, but it's Perry. 5th World Cup and still one of the fastest going around. We'll probably have a slightly closer look at it just to make sure though. Flew off the bat. Perry set off immediately. Gets a hand to it. It's just whether or not any part of that right arm is touching the boundary line while she's touching the ball. But the speed in which she also then gets up and chases after it with the gun arm. It's very tight. 44 for 1 if it's 2. It'll be 46 for 1 if it's 4. I think she's done well. Confirmed as well. 44 for 1.
Coming into ball is over. Kim Grant.
Garth to continue with her 4th. Less than 300 needed now. It's been a watchful start from Jemimah Rodrigues in this reshuffled Indian lineup. It's been given the responsibility of number 3, Smriti Mandhana, almost in meditation mode. Tall task ahead of them. They've recovered from the early loss of Shefali.
Oh, yes, Kim. Oh my God.
Yeah, it was that period where Alyssa Healy was struggling to find the middle, eventually got out. Even Elise Perry in the early parts of her innings, it was Phoebe Litchfield who was providing impetus for Australia's innings. So not much between the two sides. Jemmy pulls that out of the bag. Navi Mumbai loves it. Is that the shot that gets Jemima Rodrigues' innings going?
That's quality. That's why she's been promoted at number 3, which she's earned a spot after being left out in a game earlier. Came back in the game against New Zealand and got a half-century batting at 3. But it's just the start. These two batters, vastly experienced, who've played together. Smriti and Jemima would know you just keep the pedal pressed for getting those runs.
Come on.
That they'll need to be addressing very quickly is that rotation of strike. Boundary, if can be followed by a single or a 2, would lower the dot ball percentage. She loves the sweep, she loves the scoop. We've seen one already. But that rotation of strike will just keep that momentum of the scoring up for India.
That's exactly the point you're making, Anjum. They've got a boundary of the over. Every time Australia got a boundary, it ended up being an over that was 7, 8, maybe more. With the boundary, it's 4 dot balls in this over so far, but she's extremely skillful. Jemima Rodrigues, especially in putting pressure back on the bowler. Innovation out of 178 will manufacture shot options. Took off instantly. That's a well-judged single in the end. 49